Satnam.
Satnam.
Satnam. Sorry, I had a little trouble getting in. I couldn't read my phone numbers. So, welcome everybody. And so who's here?
Surinder Jyote's here, back from Liberia.
Oh
welcome
my
home.
gosh, how was it?
It was amazing. Yeah, incredible experience.
Good. Have you decided whether you're going to go back or stay?
I'm
here?
Staying here in Boulder, yep.
Oh, okay. We'll talk more about that later.
Okay,
Glad
good.
to hear. Okay, who else is here?
Parmat Makar.
Hi, dear.
Hi.
And who else?
Ranjit.
Yeah, hi.
Ranjit, and who else?
This is Sanj from Surrey, BC. First time on the call.
Welcome, dear. Welcome. Now tell me again where you're from.
From Surrey, British Columbia.
Oh, British Columbia. Welcome.
Yeah.
And who else is here?
Suzanne from Dallas.
Suzanne and
Guru Atma.
Guru Atma.
Sadanam.
Welcome. And Sadanam and Hargoben must be.
Right.
Good. And who else?
Rahmani and Tomas.
Rahmani and Tomas and
Haridaskar.
Hi, Haridas. Welcome.
Harinder.
Harinder. Yes, dear. And who else? Who else? Oh, okay. So here we are. So we're ready to go. So please begin. Long, deep breath. Sitting straight, eyes at the third eye point. And relaxing into your third eye point. Good. And now we will begin with our tuning in. So palms together if you can. Inhale. Long deep breath. Good. Long deep breath from the belly through the nose. Good. And now begin heart breath, which is continuing long, deep breath. But on the exhale, feel as though the breath is coming out of your heart center.
Oh, that's why you couldn't hear me.
Heart breath. Heart breath. Really open your heart. Good. And now please send this beautiful heart breath to everybody who is on the call with us or listening to the recording. Feel that association. Feel that flow among each. Good. And now, Baba Siri Chand says, please send your heart breath to all the poor, suffering Marines. I say, sir, what do you mean? He says, all of those people who lost limbs, who lost their psyche. In other words, all of those military people on both sides, all the people who suffered in these past wars. Please send your heart breath. Good. With the intention of healing, whether you agree with the war or not, that's immaterial. We're sending heart breath to these military people and their families. This is healing. This is healing energy. Heart breath is healing energy. He says we're doing this now because he says so many, when they came home from the war, now they and their families have hit the reality. So please keep up heart breath. Good. Keep up. He says the holidays are over. He says he wants you to understand that you are doing actual, real healing. He says so many of these people are praying for healing, and he says you are participating in the answer of their prayers. They are ready, they are open, they are in need. Please keep up your heart breath. Good. And begin to open a clear space for them. To come out of the being muddled and coming out of being confused. He says, can you imagine, he says, your difficulties, your emotional difficulties that you've had in your life? He says, now multiply that by 1,600. He says, that's what's going on there. He says, this is why war is so destructive. Please keep up your heart breath to offer this healing energy to them. Good. Now, with your heart breath, be very conscious of the quality of love coming from your heart to them. He says it doesn't matter if they are of a different political party than you, a different religious belief than you. He says they're human. He says, please send them this quality of love. This is not sentimental love. Be very aware of that. He said, it's the essence of kindness. Please keep sending it. He says, these are your wounded brothers and sisters. Now keep sending this healing breath to them as we continue. He says this is a very monumental thing that you are doing. He says in the future there will be so many wounded, walking wounded, dead wounded, alive wounded. He says, and they will come out of what may be perceived as wars, or some people may call it justifications. He says that's, he says that's a crock. He says they are human. We are all human. We are all of the human family. He says, so he wants you to get used to sending this healing energy, this kindness, this love that penetrates their hearts, uplifts their souls or their access to souls, and helps them straighten out the real deafening and deadening emotions that come with being wounded on any level, on the physical level, in the psyche. He says you knew what you were getting into before you came into this life to be a healer. He says you knew at that time. He says you know now, and he's asking you to continue this grand, he calls it a grand experiment of life. And that is who you are as a healer, this grand experiment of life. He says, in the future, we will have heart fests. He says, when things get tough, we will gather and we will have heart fests, which is heart breath, healing energy, to send it out to all who need it. He says, in this way, we are creating a group energy that continues to be even more powerful. He says it amps up the power, the group amps up the power to send this healing breath, this kindness to those who need it. This is the way that all of us light workers and healers will be able to help along this transition to the Aquarian. Keep up the breath. He said, you must not know yourself as anything different. He says, every one of you has signed up for this course. In other words, this course of life to be a healer. Doesn't matter if you never thought of yourself as a healer. He said this transformation and transmitting of energy, he says, that is the essence of being a healer. And he says, frankly, you came here to participate in it. And he says, you will find that there is nothing finer, nothing that satisfies you more than sending this beautiful, he's calling it purple energy right now, purple and green. Good. And if you see other colors, he says, very cool, he says. White, sparkly gold, good. And he says, now, he says, add in your own intentions. He says, every one of you is in contact with those who need this help. He says, we are going to continue to focus still on the war wounded and as well send it out to others that you specifically know. He says, you were given these people with the difficulties so that you could send this very precious breath to them. He says, this is the engine of change, transition and transformation. Good. He says, now open your hearts. Open your hearts really big, he says. He says, watch what happens as you open your heart really big. Watch what happens. Good. Okay, so now he's saying, now take the giant leap. Take the giant leap. Why not? He says, you're all adept in this. He says, go from your own personal big heart. He said, now go to the universal heart. One leap, now, to the universal heart. You are part and parcel of the universal heart. Allow the oneness. Allow the oneness. Good. He says, now do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? He says, you are this blessed heart, this one joined blessed heart. He says, can you feel it with your inhale and your exhale? He says, that is the pulsation of the universal heart. He says it has a rhythm, it has a flow, it has a dance. It has a dance. Participate with it. See the beauty and the lightness in it. Feel it. Know it within your own system, within your own body, within your own consciousness. This is the blessing of who you are. And as human, we can access it. We can know it. We can be it. We can be alive with it. He says this one universal heart, he says all of creation participates in it. He says, but it is humans who allow themselves to participate consciously, just like you're doing now. That's what you're doing now. He says, let any questions that you might have, flow into this universal heart. Any hurts, any traumas, let it be absorbed by the universal heart that you fully participate in, that you are one with. Good. Keep opening. He says, and now, he says, please allow that light to come flooding back to you. Oh, yes, this is the circle and the cycle. Let that perfect, pure heart come flooding back to you now. Keep up your heart breath. And now, as you continue most fully with it, allow that pure, imperfect, universal heart, let it, he says, subsume, let it merge with the difficulty and the darkness that people are suffering from, and they would frankly rather not suffer from it. Let this pure and perfect heart, as you participate in this oneness, this universal being, let it most kindly reach, tickle, give kindness and hugs and solace to the people who are suffering. Keep up the breath. Watch what happens. Watch what happens as you do that. Maintain the integrity of this heart. Maintain the awareness of this heart. your preciousness, your kindness, your being. Good. Keep that up. Continue that still. Feel the cycling. Feel the cycling. And now bring this universal heart to the awareness of Mother. In other words, Mother Earth, Divine Mother, the consciousness of creation, and merge with her divine heart. Allowing the conscious evolution of Earth creation. Allowing the kindness to be fully woven into the consciousness of Earth creation. The consciousness, the kindness, the awareness, the joining with Mother. Conscious awareness that we are of Mother, not separate, but of Mother. And continue to feel that solace in yourself as you participate with Mother. How blessed we are. And blessed be. Pure, whole, one being, allowing healing for this beautiful Mother Planet, all her beings, and especially those who need her help, our help, the help of the whole. Remember, we are not pushing this on anyone. We are simply amping up the power of it, making it very available. Making it very available to anyone who would like to imbibe this beautiful perfume of healing, this beautiful balm of healing, of kindness and of love. Okay, and in this beautiful, pulsating, universal love, also include yourself. Be sure that you include yourself, all the past difficulties that may have weighted you down, all the people that you might have found to hurt you, or you hurt them. Include them in this most magnificent of healing heart. Opening. Good. Now, be your heart. That is your identity. Be your heart, the heart of the healer. Be the heart of the healer of who you are. Do you feel a rhythm to it? Do you feel a coziness and yet an expansiveness? Good. Open your mind fully to it. Open your body fully. Feel it vibrating, pulsating in every molecule of your being. This is who you are. And why you came to this life. Your soul knows best. Good. Now, feeling this precious light of who you are, allowing it to continue within you, allowing this light of the universal heart to continue within you and you within it. Continuing. Now, we're just going to inhale and exhale and breathe. Just take a little minute. Take a little minute to be aware of your experience of yourself as a universal healing heart. Good. Okay. Now, my dear ones, he says, this is the time for you to share this most precious understanding and experience of who you are, so that we may join with you, so that we may, it's a way to be reinforced and a way to learn from one another. So, who can share, please?
This is Ranji.
Oh.
Go ahead,
I hear
Robbie.
the sisters.
Hi, Ranji.
Hi, honey.
Very lovely. Okay, we'll get you both. Okay, Guru Ravi?
Okay, it was just so much again. It felt like, it was speaking, Baba Siri Chand was speaking right to my heart, as I know he is to everyone's heart, but it was that experience of things that I've experienced in the last few days that were like answers for me. And
like
I felt one of them was with the healing. How many people are coming to me for that healing and for that solace and for the heart breath and sort of for me to get out of my own way. And he's told me this over a year ago that I can do the pulse diagnosis and all. I hear Yogi Bhajan's voice saying all those funny little things that you do. Keep doing those, but the real healing is the heart breath. It's from the heart. And I had some fear yesterday that arose, which is what Soul was speaking about in our wonderful free call that you gave us, and was to drop the fear. And I felt like, okay, I don't really feel like I have any fear. And then, the next day this fear surfaced, where the people that are coming to me, it's not just upper respiratory or allergies. It's their deep problems and problems that they've had for many years, and it's on a deeper level. And that fear came up for me yesterday morning as I worked with another elderly gentleman that had some really serious problems.
Fear
of not being able to help him. And especially when people tell me I'm the last resort, and I know that they're not saying I'm the last resort, but my everyday self is hearing that, and I think that's where the fear is coming from, and knowing that it's not me, it's way beyond that, and to just move back into the heart breath and offer that and connect through that. And that was one experience, and then I had an experience.
What happens to the fear when you move over to heart breath?
Oh, then everything is fine.
Okay,
you just
good.
move into an opening and expansiveness and a realization that this is not about you. This is about the universal heart, and about the healing, and just a little reminder, a big reminder of that.
And then what else were you going to tell us?
I had another experience that was similar to what was on the call with you the other night, where I jumped. I can't remember the question that we asked Soul, but I jumped deep into the center of the earth, just like dove, but it wasn't a long journey. It was a very fast jumping in, and that felt the same as jumping into the universal heart. It was that same very fast transporting, maybe. And then I saw Sadhana had painted a beautiful wooden heart, all of her gorgeous colors that she puts on her paintings, and sent it to me. That's the heart I saw as the universal heart. It was so vibrant with color.
I'm looking at one right now.
Oh, okay. So a deep connection with sadhana and all of, everyone that's doing this work. It felt like everyone was there, and that we all have our little part to play, and it's going beyond, way beyond individuals, self, into soul or universal heart. But a real experience of that, not just a understanding.
Fabulous. Wonderful. Thank you so much, dear, for all of that.
Oh,
for
thank
really
you.
sharing yourself and your process, because it really helps the rest of us as well. Bless you.
Thank you.
Ranjit.
Bless you.
But now that's hard to get back into, listening to that now. After my sharing. That was wonderful.
Yeah, wasn't it? Well, but wait a minute, but I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I have to have that great an experience. No, because we have experiences on all levels, okay?
Oh, yes. So, no, I mean, I got so drawn into listening to her experience. I became part of that, so I'm trying to go back to remember.
Okay.
But my experience, it was funny because I had just received some hibiscus tea from Guru Ravi last night that I have never tried before, but there were so many good healing properties that I had ordered some from her because I had never heard of it before. So when we first opened up to sending heart breath to, you started first by saying the Marines, what quickly came to mind was my husband who had passed away, was a Marine. And so it was very cool because I connected immediately to him. And then you interpreted it as all, as all the military. And and the hibiscus tea came very quickly to mind because as the hibiscus tea steeps, it's like for me it was like the color of what I would think of as the color of the heart, like a Valentine's heart that you see. It's like a pinkish red color and so vibrant and so beautiful. And I saw that love coming out of my heart. Everything was very experiential for me today. More, I'm a lot better with with tangible things than I am of the other things. So for me, it was a really good analogy of what was happening. So as I was connecting with all the soldiers and all the all the people who were that we were connecting with today, I could see it going from the clearness of the water into that really deep as it spread out, and we all became one, and all that love being mixed together. And then as I opened up into the universal heart, it was almost as if my physical cavity of my body opened up. And at first, when my heart first went in, it was deep, it was dark, and it was warm, but it was a little scary to me. And then I know if you talked about the green color and you were talking about purple and green and whatever color, if you add the lime to the hibiscus flower, it immediately turns a bright crimson red. So then it became so beautiful and so vibrant to me. Then the fear that I had, or it wasn't really a fear, it was just because it was new to me and I was so open. Then it turned to that bright color, and then and then it was good again for me. And I was thinking because you used the word imbibe and the word balm, and I'm like, yeah, these are words I can relate to. They're tangible. And that's how I was feeling. And this all came about with this wonderful hibiscus tea, and there's so many great things about it. And I was like, it was just such an amalgam or such a mixture of our hearts.
Wonderful.
And I think that was it.
that was all. How delightful, dear. How delightful. I think we all need to get that hibiscus tea from Guru Ravi.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's like life changing. And when you read the things that it does for you, it's just like, oh my gosh, I should have been drinking this all my life. And it tastes wonderful. It's so full, and it has so many different flavors to it, and it's wonderful.
So, Guru Ravi, what is the address of your website that we might be able to order this? Are you there? *6.
Hello.
Hi. What is your website address that we might be able to order this wonderful, incredible hibiscus tea?
Oh, thank you. It's www.busy.go.com.
Good. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, who else can share? Oh, I know Baba Siri Chand is prompting somebody out there.
Hello, this is Sanj. So, like I said, this is the first time I actually came on this call.
And, welcome, dear.
Thank you. I would like to go ahead and share my experience.
Sure. Good.
So basically, when we were doing the heart breath, I felt a lot of weightlessness and a lot of visualization of just mainly children, women, and it was hard for me to really pick up on injured Marines in particular, but more it was just the women and children that were kind of crying, and then that's kind of where I was going towards, and just giving them hugs and sending them positive vibrations.
Good.
Yeah, and then when it came to the personal people that you knew, it was basically the main people that came into my first one that came into my head was my ex-wife, and then I kind of got emotional with that, and then I brought in my circle of friends and people that I know, and the difficulties I'm having right now is most of the people around me are choosing to walk on a dark path right now, just wherever, that's just where they are right now. And I would really like to just kind of bring them over.
What do you mean the dark path? You mean they're angry and upset?
They're just in the phase of drugs and alcohol, hustling, and just rather than cooperating with one another, they're trying to fight for their own. So that's kind of, yeah, so, that's something that's a challenge in my life right now. But, it's rather than me just letting them go, I have to try to keep fighting, not fighting, but I still have to try to put that influence over them to keep them, in my life so I can influence them, try to influence them the other way here. And everything kind of ends.
May I suggest that you continue heart breath? You cannot convert anybody, okay?
Right. Okay.
You simply be present in who you are and offer what you can. But if a person is not ready to change, it's just not time. Okay, go on.
Okay, and then basically how it ended it all was just, I pictured Baba Siri Chand basically floating on top, and he was just beaming a light down on top of me, and that's just kind of where it ended, and I felt really at home, at peace. So that was my experience.
Oh, how wonderful. And so he's there all the time, right? He's there for you, and he's there for everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep up that confidence. Bless you,
All right.
dear.
Thank you. Bless you too.
Satnam. So who else can share? It can be something funny. It does not have to be profound. Or it can be anything. Who can share? Who is it? Oh, Surrender Jode?
Yes.
Yes,
hi.
dear. Hi.
So right before we got on the call, I was preparing for the yoga class I'll teach at noon today, and I was very drawn to Kriyas for physical healing and the heart. So I thought it was...
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, really nice. And I feel like going into my class today, I'll really be focused and, expansive on the heart. So it's a really nice preparation. And it's nice that I'm teaching every Wednesday at 12. So I felt that it's a nice synchronicity of being able to be on this call and then going to teach. So thank you.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, that's what happens when we live from soul. We, soul is soul, Baba Siri Chand, the universal heart. It's all coordinated. When it's all coordinated, then we find what we call synchronicity. But it's really the integrity of the way this creation works when we're not fighting it. Yeah. So, lovely. Have a wonderful class.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, who else can share? One more. Sadanam, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to share? We haven't heard from you in a while.
I know. I had an interesting start when we were opening. Yogi Bhajan showed up, and it was like he was pushing energy with his hand through me. Not sure what that was about, but that kind of
sounds good.
Started the meditation for me. Very strong energy. So I was kind of distracted with that. That was while we were going through everything. But at the end, I was pushed into this place of so really deep calm and peace. And it's the no thought space. There's this strong pulsing. So when you, let's see, I forget the question was, but bringing others into the flow, it was, I have this experience and visual experience and tangible experience of this belt flow, almost like
Would you spell that word? Of
belt,
this what flow?
like BELT. Like
belt flow.
Like maybe even like a belt flow in the cosmos. You know how the stars flow in a certain way. There's Orion's belt or something.
Oh, right.
And so these people that I know were deciding to step into this flow. It was almost like a conveyor belt, even too, to get on track. They just make the decision without even making the decisions. They just step on. They're just impelled to step onto this flow. And
yes.
So it's not like we have to push them on or pull them on. They're just deciding, or not even a decision, I want to say. They just step. Here I am.
Mhm. That's exactly right. That's the way of the Aquarian, and that's what's happening. And so your heart breath and this healing heart does provide that conveyor belt for them.
Yeah, so you could visualize that almost like this conveyor belt, the flow coming out of your heart. And so it's, to me, it also is that belt below the heart space also, that flows with the universal flow of things. And so it's getting into the zone of flow of complete stillness, but there's movement. There's flowing movement. And then also which I've been experiencing lately, when you get really into this place, there isn't even any breath. There's no breath, but we're here still, So the breath is a very human, a very tangible human thing that we have, but there is also a space where there's no breath.
And it's utter stillness.
Yeah, but there's still movement. And when you get in that space, it's just, it's being completely enveloped in this energy that is just so beautiful.
Right. You are.
That's what people will be attracted to. So again, instead of trying to push it out there, you need to step in that space, and then people will naturally get on there, So it's less of a doing and a pushing and everything, and more of a being, getting inside your own inner being. And then that just opens, the space widens, expands, and people are just naturally drawn into that.
That's right. They feel it. It's like a bell ringing, where they can vibrate with it.
Yeah. And I wanted to also mention, the first, I think Guru Ravi was talking about the respiratory problems and everything. And it's something I struggle with, and talking about the no breath. But I just learned that, and it was something so helpful for me, was the breath has to do with possessiveness, that we are holding on, we're clutching, we're holding on tight. We don't want the unknown. So when we release and we start giving from the heart, then we're no longer holding on tight. And that's where all breathing problems come from, this holding on instead of giving into the flow. And it's been so helpful for me to have that visual and that understanding of how to work with the breath and breathing problems.
I love that.
Because the holding on, that just squeezes everything. It's restrictive. We're clutching. We don't want the unknown, so we're holding on tight to that known, and we have to free ourselves to just be in the unknown and be okay with that.
Right. Step into the void. And that's what it means to be totally non-attached. And if you remember the phone call with Guru Ram Dass, that's where we were. We were totally in that void. And I had that feeling of, oh, my God, there's no reference point. I'm totally out there or in there or whatever. I gotcha. Wonderful. Thank you so much, dear.
Sure.
Thank you, and thank everybody. It is just incredible to me that this life, this totally vibrant, conscious, aware, intelligent life is so vibrant in each one, and yet it's overlooked by the culture. It's just amazing to me. But my observation is that we are moving into the culture where we don't have the rules to restrict, but we have the support to open and to join. So remember, you are the pioneers. And what Sadanam said, just be it yourself and allow it to resonate. That's how you become a pioneer. And as always, Baba Siri Chand is prompting me to say, please come on our Facebook site and please share. Please share your experiences because you know how much they help each one of us. So I'm going to give you that address again. It's facebook.com/groups, GROUPS /Soul Answer, SOULANSWER. And when you do that, when you join, I believe Kehar sends you back a notice that you're in the group now. So God bless you all. And is Kehar here?
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. Is that how it works, Kehar?
No, actually anyone can accept people who requested to join, and I'm not sure if they get a notification, actually. Maybe someone can confirm that, but they get added pretty quickly.
Okay, so it's really easy to come on then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. Thank you. Okay, Kehar, would you please lead us in the closing song? We're wrapping up all this energy together in one delicious ice cream cone. Okay, please.
Inhale. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love around you, and the pure heart within you. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. And bow to that truth, bow to that energy, that profound flow that is absolute freedom. Imagine absolute freedom. God bless you all. Meet you on the Facebook, and talk to you next week. Satnam.
Satnam.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.